My name is Hansel. Fond memories. I would say social nights. You know, every now and then FIC would have these social night gatherings where it's just full of games, getting to know each other, and I remember making a lot of new friends from there because it was quite a big church actually, but the people were very, very warm and sociable. The games were fun. I just remember a lot of running around and sweating, even though it's like 5 degrees outside.
The earliest memories at FIC were an adventure for us. It was a journey that all of us were on. It was a period of great joy, the fellowship, the hospitality. We did a lot of learning. Every week we learned new songs. There was a lot of teaching going on, and generally there was a lot of sharing taking place. So those early memories of FIC really bring back a lot of joy for us.
For me, the fondest memories I have are, there are many, and the togetherness that we shared, the inclusivity, the lovely Sabbath fellowship that we experienced, you know, the excellent leadership as well, and the genuine friendships that we made. Also, the new ideas and the practices that made FIC a leader amongst the sister churches.
First few memories in FIC. To be honest, the first few that come to mind would be our Hyde Park hangouts. They were a big favourite, a big important item in the FIC calendar. We always used to look forward to those. Even some of my earliest memories would go far as back as being in St. Mark's and just listening. This was before I joined the youth choir, and listening to the youth choir practice in the kitchen. I hope I've got that memory right, but for some reason there is some memories in the kitchen at the back of St. Mark's Church.
I'm playing with the Marina and Chloe and Rob.
For me, it's way back 2011 when we got married in FIC Church. They did help us to plan the wedding. It's amazing how you know, their willingness to help.
Innovation also in the same year, 2011, when I was get baptized in FIC Church, and the FIC family has been with me.
When I was 5, Chelsea's age now, he's in a range told my mom told me that I was going to be doing a sermon in the children's ministry service, yes. And I was freaking out because I'm very young. How am I supposed to do that? But with God's will and help, I did it. And yeah, it was a really fun experience.
FIC will always be intertwined in our lives because it is where me and Todd met.
At Central
London, St. Mark. Advent Center. We met there in 2001 after I saw an ad in the newspaper. You know that it's the ad that he had put his telephone number. I called him. We met, and as what they say, the rest is history. And the next one is our wedding. Our wedding day, isn't it, Dad? We invited all, I think, church members. So there's a lot, I think 500 plus guests, because we really would love to thank everyone, because we feel that, you know, everyone is a part of our relationship.
There's so many fun memories at FIC. Retreats actually is one really that I could remember almost every year from 2001 I think, where there was, you know, this group where we could have seen how people have talk, forgave. There's sessions of forgiveness. We had fan social. We went to the beach. There's so many things that really took place there.
And I remember when I first came to FIC, I was still single, you were still single. We used to go out on a day trip. And oh, I love it because they hire a big bus and you know, there's singing, there's games, and it's so much fun. And then the retreats, and I think our children as well, Dad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's one of
two
the
girls
things that they would remember.
Music. I like Ashes violin.
And how many years have you been in FIC?
5 years.
All your life. Too, like Ate.
I've been in the church for 9 years.
All your life?
All my life. I really miss the singing and all the music.
Worshipping all together in person. And also, I miss the small talk that we had to everyone, that I had to everyone. Might it be in the toilet, in the kitchen, or in the hallway.
Like 6 years old, all the way till 18. So that's basically 12 years. I've basically been there for 12, my entire childhood.
What do I miss most? I suppose I miss the fellowship most. I have been to churches all over the South England Conference and even in the North, but there are none that quite compare to the fellowship we used to have, or I used to be a part of, at lunchtimes, the afternoons, just spending time talking and getting to know each other, getting to know visitors, well, yeah, and food, of course. But it goes unmatched. I've been to other places which are really nice, but none quite the same as FIC.
I have been a member of FIC or had been in FIC for at least 20 years now.
20 years?
Yeah. Sorry. No. Oh, yes.
So, 19 years.
19 years. Oh,
yeah, 19 years that you're a member of FIC.
Okay.
Plus 1 year, because you were there a
yeah,
year before the
yes.
church
Oh,
was
yes.
organized.
Okay, that's it.
I've been with FIC. Yeah, I think we're still in FIC. Our membership is still there, isn't it?
Last time, I think we're still FIC members.
I've been with FIC for 19 years. And well, 3 years before that, before the church was formally organized in September 28, 2002.
Personally, Tad and I, especially Tad, he knows everyone, their birthdays, their address, their car registration. And even that,
not everyone.
Birthdays, and I'm really quite amazed with him because I know mostly everyone, but I could not memorize everything, like their birthdays, anniversaries, baptism, and that to me is really very, very, very encouraging and inspiring.
Well, one thing I miss now is being with those people who started FIC. Actually, a lot of them have passed away.
Yeah, most of them.
But still there's a lot who are here, and yeah, the young people, especially the youth is very passionate, very visionary. With starting with Michelle, we've been a youth leader, but we were just starting. Before Michelle, but as soon as Michelle took off, the legacy took off really. So I really miss that. But one thing I really miss and love about FIC is when we get to the time when we have small groups almost all over London. Almost every night we have a small group to go to, which really is
powerful.
Powerful, and it's like a family to us, isn't it? Yeah, it's like a family to us. We look forward to those meetings, and it's one thing I love and really miss. And well, eventually one of those became Jethro International Church. So praises be to God for that. So I miss the small groups, really. I miss the small groups at FIC.
One thing I loved very much was meeting new people. Every week at FIC you were guaranteed to meet someone from other parts of the Philippines and other parts of the world. And myself and Brother Colin had a special ministry where we made certain we got the details of every visitor that came to church, and we kept in touch with people over the time, and it was wonderful to hear people tell us later on how much they benefited from the church keeping in touch with them. Things I miss, we really used to enjoy the retreats. We went to wonderful places, had wonderful times. Those retreats were magnificent times. Legacy is something that FIC really taught us, and over the years we have seen younger people grow into church and take responsibility. And so basically the concept is that those above bring through those below. So those are big things about FIC that leave an impression on myself, and I would say the same for Linda.
Well, he's almost said it all, but what I love the most about FIC, it was the unity that evolved over the years. You know, people come and go, but whenever you go back, you feel as if you're part of the family. And it's also lovely to see the integration of all the new people. You know, when I go to visit now, or when I have been able to go before the pandemic, you know, to see new people really involved and taking part. Those are the things that I really loved about it, and I think I missed that as well.
There will be mountains that I will have to climb, and there will be battles that I will have to fight.
But victory or defeat is up to me to decide. But how can I expect to win if I never try?
I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me.
Never said there wouldn't be trials. Never said I wouldn't fall. Never said that everything would go the way I wanted to go. But when my back is against the wall and I feel all hope is gone, I'll just lift my head up to the sky and say, help me to be strong.
I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. No, I know you didn't bring me out here to leave me lonely, even when I can't see clearly. I know that you are with me, so I can. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. I just can't give up now.
By playing with me and my friends at school.
This year, I've lost 2 uncles. It's my mother's brothers, and it's really hard to accept it. But by the help of the church family, the words of encouragement, I overcome the sadness.
Lost my dad and Arit. So challenging today. But I'm happy that Pastor Tad, Pastor Bernardo's has been with me, and also the FIC family.
There are many ways I think the example that we picked up at FIC has helped me face life challenges. One thing that was always has been powerful at FIC is the prayer ministry. Every afternoon you have a prayer session and people share. And one of the things we used to always say at FIC, if you don't cry at FIC, it has not been a good Sabbath. And what used to really touch us is that people would be open, they would share their problems, and that was so uplifting. And I think we haven't really come from that background, so that has really helped me in facing some of the challenges that I've been through. The supportive environment, the practical Christianity, the burden bearing and supportive feel that was evident at FIC, and I hope is still evident at FIC, has helped us an awful lot face challenges and help us move along in other church settings that we have been involved in.
Honestly, since we met, got married, have children and have family, our friends, our neighbors are actually all from FIC. This church community has really helped us a lot in child rearing, child minding until now. It's like a family in this part of the world. We will never be successful without them.
One of the most valuable things that I would always cherish from my FIC family is how they always would remind me of the presence of God and who He is. There are many times where I've been lost, confused, angry, even until today. Now that I'm away from FIC, I'm glad that I've had that they've molded me in that specific way where I know who God is, I know who He can be, and I know He will always be there for me. And to be honest, the FIC church didn't really need to give me Bible studies to remind me this. They reminded me through their actions or just through talking to me and allowing me to see God through them.
I guess I would say it helped me to discover who I am in a way. One of the first, or one of the fondest memories actually I have, which looking back on it was really scary at the time, but on reflection I can say it was the most challenging because I was still trying to figure out who I was and what I was good at, what my strengths are. And we used to have, in the early days at Brentmead Gardens, we used to have a FIC club, for those of you who have been around long enough to remember. And I used to get so ridiculously nervous before the start of all of those sessions. And it really helped me overcome some of my biggest fears about just being good enough and about what I was good at. And I guess, yeah, you could say it helped me to, get over the most challenging part was about just getting to know myself and figuring out who I was.
The song God will make a way when it seems to be no way. Yeah, that song, it is true. You know, my grandma went back to the Philippines and she's the one helping me to look after the children when it's summer break or when it's half term. But now she's not here, and so I'm overwhelmed. I'm quite worried what to do. I don't know what to do. But God always finds a way as long as you submit yourself to Him.
This is a little bit of a tough one, but I guess I would say it's difficult because I wouldn't say that I've experienced God's unchangingness in the same way that I have experienced myself change, but God remain the same. I suppose ultimately that's the same thing. But in my mind, it's easier to recognise the fact that although I've got older and personal circumstances have changed, you go through times and seasons in life, and things don't always stay the same. It's the fact that I still know who I am because I always know who God is. So the fact that I know that He is ever merciful, ever kind, ever caring, ever, looking out for us and ever forgiving, it makes me just recognize that actually, no matter what I do or no matter where I go, I always know where to find God and always know how to connect to God.
My favorite, Bible verse is Jeremiah 29:11. I think he had already had this plan from the beginning till the end. And I think personally for me, when I had my cancer, the church was really such a rock and a big support. And recently is our COVID experience.
As a family.
And we know that everyone prayed. And another thing, Papa, is the prayer warrior group in FIC, which is really powerful. I remember when Ate Levy had that event, and we prayed. And it's not only Ate Levy whom we have seen miracle. A lot of miracles of healing, restoration, because of the powerful prayer life that FIC have.
Yeah, I think that's really true. It's one way that we really have seen God's
mighty
faithfulness. That He never changed.
He never.
He never changed. When we as a church prays together, we asked for God's guidance, for God's leading. He's always there for us, and His faithfulness. There's a lot of experiences and stories of healing at FIC.
A lot.
And so we have experienced that recently, and that's why we could actually count on that. But not only that, even with FIC's longing before to have a church building. We have seen God's faithfulness according to His plan. When we were just praying, Lord, give us a building, God is not actually answering, because God must know what in our hearts, that as soon as we would have a building, nothing would probably would happen unto that. But when we started praying, Lord, give us a community wherein we could minister to. That's when God have given to us that building that we have now.
This is exactly how I see the FIC Church. No matter how lost you are or how far away you will be from the church itself, they will always be there to welcome you with open arms. No matter what you did, there can be some faults here and there, but that's how the bond between myself and my own family and my FIC family has became more stronger because of this. Opening up their arms, welcoming everyone, including myself. No matter what I've been through, what I've gone through, they will always understand.
How many of you still look exactly the same as you were last year or 5 years ago? The truth is, people and things always change around us. Our thoughts, feelings and mood shift from time to time, depending on our changing circumstances. Like the weather, trends and fashion also vary over time. Even prices of goods and commodities fluctuate. So are people's preferences, choices and culture, to name a few. Since the arrival of the coronavirus, the way we all interact, learn and work have drastically changed, which has left us wondering if this would be the new normal. I have a few photos of stuff that have changed over the past years. Let me see how many of you, particularly our parents, can still recognize these. Have you recognized all of them? You see, technology keeps changing fast. There seems to be always something new coming up in the horizon, a much better and fast device, whilst rendering other models obsolete. For example, we now have voice interactive appliances, self-driving cars, and AI technology, to name a few. Things are still going to keep changing every day, as it appears to be the only permanent thing in this life. In this culture of change, people can always replace or upgrade if they don't want or need anything. Imagine if God was like that. What if God would change his mind every time we misbehave? What if he decides to stop the air that we breathe, withhold his protection, or love us a little less when we disobey him? Fortunately, God is not like that. He gives us blessings, cares, and loves us, just the same whether we do good or bad. In fact, there is nothing that we can do that would change his love for us. When everything changes, we can be fully reassured that God would never change. No adapting circumstances will stop him from loving us. He is dependable, reliable, and keeps his promises at all times. He is the only one you and I can trust. Our friends and family may let us down, but we can always depend on a God who knows no changes. As Hebrews chapter 13 verses 8 says, he is the same yesterday, today, and forever.
He is amazing, isn't it, Dad? He has really worked so much in our lives since the pandemic began, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, I think since the pandemic began, God has made our mind, our understanding broader on how we would do the ministry. I think we've been so open on how God would direct us and how God would lead us in our ministry and even in our spiritual life.
You were able to minister more via
Zoom,
isn't it? You've been all around the world.
Virtual ministry has taken off really during this time, which is unimaginable. Unimaginable when we are still meeting physically probably in
Yeah,
church.
we don't do that when
You know, there's more opportunity now
to reach out.
to reach out, and God has opened our hearts, our minds, on how to do it.
You know, during the pandemic, lots of things have happened, lots of changes have taken place. One of the things that really has been highlighted, I have more empathy and sympathy for others. We've been fine, we've been fortunate. So what I've learned is to have an awareness of the needs of others and a realization that we are God's hands and His feet. And just praying for people is just not enough. So I have learned to dig deep and to share.
God's faithfulness has been very evident over the recent times. We have been amazed that in the past almost 2 years, we have not even picked up the common cold. God has really been good to us. We've taken supplements, we've been very careful, but it's God's hand on our lives that has kept us well over this time. The neighbors on either side of us in the height of the pandemic, we've really got close to our neighbors. And personally, I have benefited tremendously from working with the children at HIC. We have a little close family unit, and that's been a tremendous blessing. And I've seen God's hand working in the lives of those children.
I have been more closer to them than ever. Joining Bible study, joining Bible reading, joining midweek prayers and Vesper prayers, and I became more closer to God.
The pandemic struck the whole world. It's like you take a rest from all of that. This is the time you can reflect and you can do all your midweek services. You can do your Bible studies because you'll have all these free time. So you can always do whatever you want and
not whatever you want.
No, not whatever you want.
You have to schedule the Father.
You can let the Spirit of God free you because you don't really have that much to do.
Yeah, I told them that we need to be strong and healthy, but most importantly, trust God.
I need God in my life, and my mom's always right. You know, my mom's saying, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God." You know, you should always put God first. You should never do this. You should always go to church. I can go on and on and on. I'm sure everyone has gone through that with their mothers and fathers, but especially my mom. I'm glad that my own spiritual life with God is getting stronger. It may not be super strong, but I know that it is stronger than it was 10 years ago.
Since the pandemic, I think I can speak for a lot of myself and my family members to say that we have all learned to be flexible. It's been challenging trying to keep moving forward, even though you don't know what's happening next or whether or not you're making the right decision. But I think ultimately I've just learned to be flexible, I guess, and still remain connected. So although there's lots of parts of me that have changed and are changing, I have learned to be adaptable and to trust God no matter what, no matter how foggy the next steps might be.
I'm thankful to FIC Church family for helping me raise our children, Isabella and Chelsea, in their spiritual life. I cannot do it alone. We cannot do it alone. With all these activities that you're giving them the experience. Thank you very much, and I also want to thank the leaders of the church who is very consistent with their leadership. Their level of being active, it doesn't fluctuate, it's always high. Thank you very much, FIC Church family,
for doing the works in every department, and for also we've been blessed with the words.
Activities we get to do because they're so fun. Like the wildlife park we went to, there was so fun. Camping, you know that. You know the lessons, the master guides, the teachers, primary.
The titas, all the titas, all the titos.
Kuya.
Yes. You know, all of them.
Yeah.
They're really,
Everyone from young to old.
Yeah. They're really, really supportive. They always keep me up here. No, that, like that.
Firstly, my FIC family, thank you for molding me this way, you know, to be who I am today. I am so grateful for everything you have done, all the things you have scolded me about, all the things you have corrected me for. I've learned a lot from the teachings of the Bible, the teachings through Pathfinders, and the teachings through the songs from Legacy and FIC Chorale. You know, all of that it's still in my heart today, my heart and soul. And one way I express myself is actually through the music that I do once in a while, where I'll just meditate on some of the FIC Chorale songs or Legacy, the repertoire that we had, the Bible verses that have stayed constant within my mind, and just seeing your faces on social media and seeing my mom happy in church, it's very, very heartwarming for me, and I'm very grateful for all of the things you have done, you know, and I hope you all know that, and if you don't, here I am.
A special thanks to FIC for your love and friendship over the years. Some of you are so special. You know who you are. Don't need to call the names. You have shared not only your lives with us, but in some cases, your parents and also your country as well. I'll mention just one name though, and that's Pastor Todd. He has been a brother, a friend.
Okay, Pastor Todd, he has been a brother, a friend, nurturer, and a shepherd. He has embraced not just us, but also the rest of our family. Thank you all for the wonderful experiences and friendship we've shared over the years. Only never lose your uniqueness. Continue the trend that makes you do special.
Makes you so special. Remain the Christians that you are. God bless.
God bless. Thank you for all your love, your fellowship, your warmth, your embracing hospitality over the years. God bless you, FIC, and all I can say is Viva FIC. Long may your influence continue. God bless you.
Thank you
very much.
Bye.
I just want to say thank you to the FIC church family for always being there through the best times, through the core of my growing up and my self-discovery. The Filipino church was there for me, helped me to get over my fears of getting out of my comfort zone. I've definitely done a lot of that over the years, being at church, singing, leading out fitness classes, you know, everything, just really trying to figure out my ministry, and the Filipino church definitely helped me and supported me during those times. So thank you to all of the members who, even though I'm not regular, still reach out to me, still ask for me, still send love and tokens of greetings at my birthday, during tough times, and through all of my ups as well. Thank you to everyone, and happy anniversary.
We could never ever say thanks enough for all of you, our dear FIC family. You know who you are. The prayers, the support, the gifts, the blessings, and everything. We give back all the glory and praise to God for giving you, for helping, for letting God, for letting us meet you through this loving church family. 19 years, wow.
Yeah, praises be to God. Praises be to God.
Where do you want at your next anniversary to be? I hope it's in heaven! Are you ready?
One day you'll make everything new, Jesus. One day you'll bind every wound. The former things shall all pass away, no more tears. One day you'll make sense of it all, Jesus. One day every question resolved, every anxious thought left behind, no more fear. When we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be. When we all see Jesus, we'll sing and shout the victory. One day we will see face to face Jesus. Is there a greater vision of grace? And in a moment we shall be changed on that day. And one day we'll be free, free indeed, Jesus. One day all this struggle will cease, and we will see your glory revealed on that day. And when we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be. When we all see Jesus, we will sing and shout the victory. Yes, when we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be. When we all see Jesus, we'll sing and shout the victory. Yes, one day we will see face to face Jesus. Is there a greater vision of grace? And in a moment we shall be changed. Yes, in a moment we shall be changed. In a moment we
Happy 19th year anniversary, FIC. I hope all of you have been blessed by the services today. First and foremost, we would like to thank God for blessing FIC 19 wonderful years. And I would like to thank you for celebrating with us today and joining our worship today. We thank our members of 19 years and those that have joined us recently as well. We thank our past and current leaders for journeying with us and bringing FIC to where it is today. And I would like to thank this year's anniversary team that have selflessly given their time and heart in making this day possible. Those circumstances may have been challenging for us during this present climate and situation, that the world is changing. You have planned and made this day possible. So thank you, Wilgeline Aguirre, Jinky Azares, Ruben Hall, Heifer Lyson, Welsie Maghopoy, Bless Salazar, and Ricky Yang. May God continue to bless you as you continue the Lord's work. And of course, all our participants during prayer service, Sabbath school, family worship, and afternoon program. And how can I forget our editors? Thank you for making this possible. And to our BUC president, Pastor Ian Sweeney, thank you for blessing us with your message today. May we continue this journey of life with God, never forgetting His goodness, mercy, and unchanging love and grace. Happy anniversary.